Chapter 1 Remains. Hello, Father. How has everything been for you? Ever since the last time our paths converged, I've been up to a lot. I've been cracking cases left and right, just like you would have wanted. At least, that's what I hoped you would have wanted. In spite of this, sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. I know that my seniors at the office are there to guide me and all. Even Mother could guide me. But I don't think it could ever replace your guidance. Stop it, Oliver. You're not supposed to be getting like this. You prepare yourself to wipe hot tears from your face. And you prepare to tell yourself that you're crying because of the frigid air. Before you can do either of those things, however, you feel a small snowflake touch your skin. And before you know it, snow begins falling like feathers from a flock of pigeons at a piece of bread. You whip out an umbrella in response to the white specks. And just like that, all of those thoughts that have been perturbing you for the past decade have disappeared. And they're replaced with a... fuck. It's nothing. I was supposed to be on my way back anyways. Still though, just my luck for our meeting to get cut short by the weather. Goodbye, Father. I'll see you soon. There are tiny people. What the fuck are you doing? About to tread on a grave and disrespect the dead like that. What am I doing? What? You want to reenact that case where the girl was sitting on top of one of those stones? You know, if you try to strip and sit on the tombstone, you're gonna die of hypothermia before dying of embarrassment. Interesting. There's this little thing called look from far, far away and don't touch. No. Fine. Hello, birds. What about this cat? You walk back to your home. You don't live too far from the graveyard, for better or for worse. At the very least, it makes it easier to wake up early and come here without having to worry about some unholy thing happening to you. You make sure not to announce that you're home as you slip your coat off of your shoulders. After all, you know that Mother really wouldn't be too happy with you going out this early. If I'm recalling the time correctly, classes should be starting soon. I better go upstairs and finish my write-ups. I want to explore. Strange, the fireplace has been lit. As tempted as you are to not get cozy near the fireplace, you know that you have more productive things to do right now. What about these candles? It's not safe. Whenever you look at the stairs to the basement, you're reminded of that case where the corpses of children were kept in the basement. You can vividly remember their bodies carelessly strewn about the floor, surrounded by maggots and roaches. Clearly, you're too late to save them. You're even too late to at least save their corpses from decay. Sometimes, when you go down there, you half expect to relive that horrifying scene. Does that mean we don't trust Mother? A trash can. What more is there to say? What? It's empty. It's too obvious. Empty like something. A vase with a small flower stuck in it. This isn't the one that was originally here though. Mother broke the old one after trying to discipline you for staying out too late. You remember her saying something along the lines of, "Great, look at what you did. Now we have to buy a new vase." You still feel a bit guilty looking at this one. It's nowhere near as pretty as the original. A vase with a small flower stuck in it. This isn't the one that was originally here though. Mother broke the old one after a fight with Father because he stayed out too late. While you were listening to the argument from your room, you heard something along the lines of, "Look at what you made me do, Asher. Now I have to buy another vase." All because you wanted to fuck that bitch. You're sure that your father wasn't a womanizer of any kind, but Mother always makes it out to be the case. It's kind of like a bass sound when you step on the carpet. What about this thing? A pot of flowers sits on the table. For some reason, you find the appearance of flowers blooming during the winter to be very pretty. You wish you could be like that. This is our room. Which one's Mother's? This looks like our parents' room. Mother's jewelry. A good chunk of it was gifted to your mother from your father. Of course, after his death, she sold a shit ton of jewelry, leaving this mere fraction. Strange. She seems to be missing an earring for one of the pairs. Hopefully the other one turns up soon. The only landline in this house. Not that you use it all that often, seeing as how you don't have too many people to talk to. You do know that Mother spends a lot of time here though. So Mother's the social in this family. Father, not so much. There's a way to Mother's closet, with absolutely no good reason to go in there. Mother's bed looks cozy. You remember that when you had nightmares as a child, you'd run in here and sleep with Mother, hoping that she'd protect you somehow. But now that you're an adult, you've come to realize that you must be the one to protect her. After all, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself if a robber came in the middle of the night and stained this very bed with red with her blood. You know that you continued detective work. Heck, you stop at nothing to find who murdered her. Well, that's kinda sad. If you were to find your murderer, there'd be nothing left to look forward to other than your career. Still, though, you've always tried to ignore how depressing that would be, because it's a reality that you never want to consider. I can't tell if we like our mother or we don't. Our mother seems crazy, I guess. Ah yes, the door to the most glorious of rooms, bathroom. In spite of the fact that your diet consists mostly of caffeinated beverages, you don't need to go. Sure. Because it seems like we like our mother, but at the same time, we kind of have like a condescending tone against her. An ornate bookshelf, doing a serviceable job at holding the books above the ground. Even though you're not a law student, most of these books are about law. In spite of the amount of money you have, you don't really have too many articles of clothing. Well, I've always been more of a quality over quality type of person. What's in the box? We can push it. Why? Now it's stuck. I don't really need to sleep. Alright, that's not true. You meant to say, I really don't need sleep at all. I guess we work. You sit down on the chair, fighting the childish urge to spin on it. In all honesty, you don't know why you have one of these chairs if you never spun on it. You get to your write-ups only to fall asleep. That's what you get when you decide to spend an entire night writing, only to sleep for 3 hours. Since you are asleep, you don't realize. Yeah. Wake up. The look on Mother's face tells you that she's gonna go off on you. Again. Did you go outside? Oh hell no. This is exactly why I decided to wake up at 3 in the morning to go out. And somehow your poor mother knew. So you got 3 hours of sleep for no reason. As a result of your scandalous subterfuge, you will now be the recipient of your poor mother's concerned ramblings. She'll then get so stressed that she has a heart attack and dies, all because you made her so damn concerned. What a good son you are. Don't even bother lying to me. There's snow on your clothing and on your hair. It doesn't take a detective to figure out that you're outside. Every single time that you come back from school or work or whatever, the first thing that you do is coop yourself up in here. What compelled you to go outside today of all days? It isn't even that nice outside. Mother, first off, I like cold weather. I find that it calms my mind. There's something that I've really been needing. Do you think I'm nagging you? What? No, you're not nagging me. Where did you get such an idea from? Didn't you imply that I make your mind tired? No, that's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that it's nice to get some air. Yeah, right, I believe you. I believe that you love cold, dry air and chapped lips. Why were you really outside? Were you out on a date with someone? Fine, I was at the graveyard. You know, didn't we speak about this? You can't keep holding on to a dead man. That dead man was my father. He was my husband. You don't see me moping around over his grave. I'm not moping, I'm just coming to terms with everything. Really, after 10 years, you're focused on spending time at his grave, lamenting the fact that he's gone, instead of appreciating who's still here with you, your mother. How about this? I just baked cookies. Maybe those will get you out of this mood. I'll come down once you're finished doing. You're gonna stop spending your days working on these cases. Stop working on schoolwork. She grabs you by the arm and begins dragging you downstairs, away from your precious case files. Arranged in front of you are 2 large trays of massive diabetes-inducing cookies. If the baker wasn't your mother, you'd assume that they're trying to kill you from all of this sugar. You know, most parents yell at their children for not doing their work. It seems as though the subject of your conversation with her hasn't changed at all. You're not surprised that the issue has dragged on for this long, but you are starting to want this to stop. I guess that she's that concerned for me, huh? Instead of yelling at you for ignoring your work, here I am, yelling at you for doing work. It's like I can't win. You can't exactly say anything to her about this. What? Do you not like spending time with me anymore? So much like your father, both in the good and bad ways. Her gaze falls on you, in anticipation for a response. Of course, when have you ever known how to comfort her? In the end, you decide that if you can't comfort her with words, you'd at least comfort her by eating her cookies, as much as you dislike them. You also decide to change the topic of the conversation to something much more lighthearted, like, "So, Mother, how was last night for you? I know that you were excited about finally going out." "Yeah, last night was the best night I've ever had since you were born. I met the 2 nicest gentlemen, and they did a lot for me. Although, I do think that I lost one of my earrings while I was out." "Oh, I could help with that. Just tell me where you went, and I'll survey the area to find the earring." "Really? It's fine. I don't need you finding the earring. I have plenty more pairs." So, she doesn't care about father, because we said that was one of the jewelries that father gave her. Are you sure? It really wouldn't be much of a problem for me, and you get. Also, she said she was very happy about meeting 2 men, which, I don't know. Don't know the context for that. It's fine. Now, stop dragging on this issue for so long. You force yourself not to sign resignation. You know that would only make this conversation worse. Thus, leaving the 2 of you to eat those sugar bomb cookies in silence. You quickly finish up your tray and return it to the kitchen. Maybe you finished it a bit too quickly. In all honesty, you finished up the cookies so quickly because you have classes soon. Though you also knew that if you didn't finish the cookies, Mother would accuse you of hating her baking, but that's besides the point. However, you know that she'll never take that explanation, even if it is the truth. Have I been a bad mother? Is that why you've been looking for excuses to get away from me? You know that there's no winning this argument. All that you can do is get the heck out of here. Me being away from you has nothing to do with you. I just have a lot of work. Yes, work. Long, time-consuming work that forces you out of the house for at least 18 hours a day. If it'll make you a bit happier, you're not supposed to have any classes to work on for the next few days. So I'll be spending more time with you. And besides, winter break is almost here, so it's just a few more weeks until you have Meat War to yourself. You promised me that you'll spend all of your time with me. I promise. Yeah, good. You'd best be on your way. And don't forget, I love you more than anyone else ever could. I love you too. Oh, I'll be home early. It's supposed to snow tonight. I don't want my son to freeze to death. You glance at her in acknowledgement and step outside of the house. Winter mornings have always unsettled you a bit. All sound is muffled by the fluffy snow, except for the wind's whispers in your ears. Its silence acts as a double-edged sword for you. On one hand, it's refreshing to not have constant noise blasting in your ears, whether it's from the city's ambience or mother's concern for you. Still, though, the air is so still and silent that you feel yourself tense up. It's the perfect time for something horrible to happen to you, or more importantly, to your mother. The snow would muffle the sound of her screams, if you even could scream. You're about to continue thinking about all the bad things that could happen when you finally arrive at the train station. You then board the next 6 trains to Cobalt Street, hoping that there aren't any delays. You gaze out the window, looking at darkness. See? So, can't tell if we hate our mother or not. We didn't look so enthusiastic when we said we love her, and all of our thoughts are quite traumatic, which I'm assuming is because we spend most of our time on the cases. Very engaging, yes. It's the best way to start the day, waking up to a dark morning, followed by a dark, hour-long train ride. You don't mind it too much, since it makes it much easier to take a very light nap. Too heavy, and you'll probably miss your stop, or get beaten up. The streets of Libretto City. It's just as foggy as it usually is here. I think Libretto is the same city from Bedrot, the same universe from the developer. Even though you managed to partially drift off to sleep on the train, you're still exhausted. I wouldn't say I'm sleep deprived, but a nice cup of coffee is the perfect way to start the day. You better stop off at Moonbill's as soon as possible. That place usually gets packed in the morning. A lot of creatures out here. Pity. This cat seems to be blocking the path into this alleyway. To be honest though, you have no reason to go into alley right now, unless you want to get robbed at 6 in the morning. Want to accept the prison of the body and get run over? No, didn't think so. Even though death is constantly crossing your mind, you don't wish to die. One thing, so many people's lives get cut short against their will. To you, it would be an insult to those people to off yourself. Second, you do like the thrill and adrenaline that comes from this detective work. And finally, your poor mother wouldn't know what to do with herself without you. Even though you'd be dead, you'd rather not have your death so negatively affect her. Like our fathers did. Autosave? Okay. You try this again? Nope, not offing yourself today. Okay. A sign that displays the drink of the month for Moonbells. Drink for December is another cinnamon pumpkin drink. Just like last month's drink, and the month before. Just as always, the line is incredibly long at Moonbells. You naively thought that arriving early might spare you the pain of waiting for someone to finish ordering a extra large Americano with a cup of 0.1% milk, 157 degrees hot, with 11.1 shots of espresso, 69 grams of sugar, a pinch of caramel, and cold foam. But it seems as though all of those people had the same idea. Well, at the very least, I don't think anyone here has the energy to even order a deranged drink, right? I need a small iced latte. You perk up upon hearing the order. For whatever reason, it seems as though lattes tend to be the most chaotic drinks. With whipped cream. So far, nothing too out of the ordinary. Make it mostly whipped cream. I'm on a diet, and I'm not having you fuck that up. And I want the whipped cream to be hot. And put some diet soda in there. Now. Ma'am, we don't have diet soda, but we can put Splendid sweeter and... No, don't you dare tell me what to do. Splendid would ruin my diet, so shove some diet soda in there or else. Okay, jeez. So much for the same drink, or a customer that isn't a bit off the rails. And so much for it not taking too long to get a drink. Took around 5 minutes to make that lady's latte whipped cream thing. Pretty impressive, considering that the barista had to go out to buy some diet soda with her own hard-earned money. Around 30 minutes passed before you were able to finally place your order. At the very least, you know that you won't be late for class. As you go to the front of the line to order, you're greeted with a... Hey Oliver, I wasn't expecting to see you here. Emma, I didn't expect to see you here at this time. Usually, I work the evening shift. No wonder, I haven't seen you here. I never come here in the evening. Yeah, unfortunately, my boss is making me work a double shift. With the holidays coming in and stuff, they want all employees on at all times. Has your boss at least increased your pay? No, you have that much faith in my boss. Guess it was a mistake to assume that your boss would abide by the law. Anyways, enough chatting. What can I get for you? The usual. The usual, huh? I was going to get a latte, but a simple Americano would also be nice, if she doesn't know my usual. Let's test this out. Of the usual place. Over ice? Or are you sane enough to not get an iced drink in the middle of winter? I've been questioning my sanity lately, but I'm not that far gone yet. Alrighty, your drink will be done in a few seconds. Emma rapidly prepares your drink, and just as she did, she only takes a few seconds. Nice. And here's your triple shot Americano that I don't know how you stomach. So, you do know my usual. How'd you figure it out? Do I really look that much like an Americano person? It's all in the intuition of a barista. Hopefully. Enjoy your drink. I will. Oh, and please keep the change. You give her a $10 bill. In return, she gives you the most glorious Americano you've laid your eyes upon. Got a triple shot Americano. You should probably find somewhere to sit down while you drink this. I'm noticing that it's very messy in here. It seems as though someone had the unfortunate experience of spilling their coffee right after purchasing it. Unfortunate for them. Hate it when that happens. Let's sit here. You sit down on the hard seat, ready to enjoy your daily dose of caffeine. This drink is perfection. You make sure to savor the drink, letting the scalding liquid warm your cold throat. You're feeling so cozy that you probably could fall asleep here. You're feeling so cozy that you almost forget about the troublesome conversation you had with Mother. And you're feeling so cozy that you almost forget that this place is getting crowded insanely quickly. And of course, that is, until this guy comes in. He lightly taps you on the shoulder. You assume that he's gonna jump you, but instead... Pardon. You're Oliver Cypress, right? Yes, and I know you from... Dude, we shared a poetry class together. Remember Mrs. Francis's blamed class? I believe that I remember you now. You're Cox, right? Yep, the only one. One and only. Say, I saw you chatting with the barista girl. You're watching us from the window. Yes, I was chatting with her. What significance does it hold to you? Dude, what's up with the big funny words, right? I've kind of noticed that. I don't understand the shit you're saying. Big words, really. Cheh, haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, anyways, you seem to have pretty good rapport. And you just said not to say big words, huh? Why'd you help a follow dude out by telling me about her? That information isn't for me to disclose. It's her choice to do so. Come on, not even a name. Fine. Her name's Emma. Thanks, man. Watch as I win this girl over. I'm gonna regret helping him out, aren't I? You just pushed the line. Upon watching Edward shove everyone aside, you unfortunately realize that you were correct in regretting this. Behold, an entitled brat attempts to date your friend. You know that she deserves much, much better than him. Better than you, even. Not that you're even interested in the first place. And you want to know why this is happening to her now? It's all because of you, Mr. Prodigy Detective, decided to tell this guy her name. Bravo, you just disclosed the most valuable piece of identification to a scumbag that Tony won't harass her. And do you want to know why you're not getting your sorry self up to stop this? You're too engrossed by these stupid thoughts to even realize that you could just go up there and stop the scene. But that'll shit you all with people. What are you surprised of? Hey, pretty? Well, you really have a chance at stopping this from even being initiated. Hey, you can't just cut the line. Who do you think you are? The damn Queen of Scots. Tja, whatever. I'm basically the freaking prince of the city. Lines don't apply to me. Yeah. They do apply to you. If you want to order, you're gonna go to the back of the line, like everyone else. But all I wanted to do was chat with a pretty girl like you. Look, if you want to chat with me, do it some other time, alright? You do this all the time, and it's very uncomfortable for everyone here. Come on, please. No. Mortified by the fact that he just got scolded by a peasant like Emma, Edward leaves Moonbills with his tail between his legs. At the same time, Emma continues making drinks like nothing has happened. Thankfully, that didn't escalate due to the fact that Edward is a pathetic idiot. However, being the paranoid detective that you are, you ponder what could have happened had Edward been even just a bit more unhinged. And you also realize that Emma's usual smile is just slightly downturned. And it's pretty much my fault that she got humiliated. Should have stopped him. He'd have done that either way. He was stalking from the window. I know that classes start soon, but I think that I should check up on Emma right now. You get online and wait, yet again, to order a... You don't know what to order. That doesn't really matter right now. Hello, Oliver? You're back. You like the drink, right? Yes, I liked it very much. It was much better than what I originally wanted. I'm just here to order a croissant. Alrighty, one croissant coming right up. You glance around to make sure that no one's here. He speaks softly, much softer than usual. Emma, could I speak to you? You saw how it went for the last guy who tried to speak with me. I just wanted to check up on you. What's there to check up on me about? You know, that guy treated you like that. I just wanted to make sure that you're okay before leaving. Of course I am. There's customers like that all the time here. It's nothing I can't handle. Well, you shouldn't have put up with that. I might not have much of a right to speak on the matter, but I would think that it feels... demeaning. Her happy mask slid off just like that. You start feeling an all too familiar feeling of guilt, even if you haven't broken the law. Obviously, it's pretty shitty that Emma's dealing with harassment, but it's even shittier that you just made today worse for her. You mentioned that he's been doing this every day, right? Maybe I could have a little chat with him. I could perhaps knock some sense into him. No, thanks, really. It's fine, but thanks for the thoughts. Besides, I know that your definition of a friendly chat with him would involve that little thingy of pepper spray you've got there. What pepper spray? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, you got me. Don't worry about me. I can handle myself just fine. Okay, Emma. If you say so. But if you ever need anything, I'll be there for you. You and Emma exchange glances as she hands you the croissant you forgot you ordered. You give her a $10 bill and request that she keeps the change. Again. And just like that, you walk out of the Moonbills. As you walk out, you're pretty sure that through the corner of your eye, you see Emma blushing a bit. You just chalk that up to the lighting though. Alright, I better head to classes now. I wouldn't want to be too late. This way? You continue walking through the streets and finally arrive at Libretto University. Most of your day, consists of sitting around, listening to lectures, and writing so much that your hands burns with pain. You view it as a bit of a waste of time. Not because you hate your classes or anything like that, but more so because you'd rather be cracking cases. After a long, long day of boring stuff that I'm not even going to get into, you go to the university's library. Let's see, I need to finish up all of my schoolwork as soon as possible. That way, I can get to working on cases. And as soon as I do that, I'll just stop, like I promised Mother. You get straight to writing, dread gluing your pen to the page. You know that once you get this essay done, you have to get through a few more write-ups, analysis, poems, all that good stuff. And you also know that if you don't finish it fast enough, Mother's gonna grow more and more anxious because of you. Your writing becomes much sharper as you rapidly scribble down words on the page. But just as you're getting into the flow of it, hey. Ah, shit. What the hell was that shit you pulled at Moonbills? I don't exactly follow. Why didn't you tell me that Emma's one of those girls? What do you even mean by that? Why'd you make me go to the back of the line, huh? You really don't feel like putting up with Edward Cox's bullshit. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was because you were cutting? Look, I'm not going to sit here and tolerate your complaints about Emma, okay? Your usually soft voice morphs into an icy hiss. You don't like hearing yourself like this. It's what must be done. I mean, not even you take your normal voice all that seriously, referring to mask it with ice when speaking to hardened criminals. And idiotic classmates, it seems. If I knew that you were going to humiliate yourself at Emma like that, I wouldn't have even told you her name. I wasn't making a fool of myself. She should have been flattered that I was willing to do something embarrassing for her sake. You didn't cut a line for her sake. She doesn't even know you. She doesn't know that she's going to love me. You decide to turn to your last resort to shut this guy up. You know, the more you speak like this, the less inclined I am to believe your argument. It reminds me of this one assault case. The perpetrator spoke of the victim in that exact manner. Oh hell no, you're not gonna go off on a crime tangent with me. If I'll get you to stop pestering women, then I'll gladly do it. Besides, I like talking about these cases. They teach you a thing or two about people, so don't think that I'm doing this for your sake. Edward stares at you, apathetically, clearly not moved by your words. He begins to drag himself away from you, shoulders slumped from boredom. Whatever, I'm just gonna go to class now. There's no difference between hearing you lecture and hearing the professor lecture. You must have done something right to make the slacker go to class instead of cut it. You think nothing of it. You're just glad that the argument didn't escalate. You attempt to return to writing, but an air of resentment from the argument hangs over the area, promptly leading you getting the heck out of there. Even though this is parching my throat, it still feels quite pleasant. Says you, A man who usually keeps himself cooped up, either in the university, office, or bedroom. Any sort of natural air is going to feel refreshing, even if it's natural air tainted by industrial smoke. I have a good amount of time before Mother's expecting me home, so maybe I can get my work done at Cardinal Park. Title card. I do think that I should check up on Emma before I do that, though. Upon entering the now empty line, you see that Emma is nowhere to be found. Didn't she mention working a double shift today? Hello, what can I get for you today? May I have a, Usually, you'd rehearse your order in your head before you turn to place it. Unfortunately, you didn't do that this time. Thankfully, you aren't putting the line to a halt because there is no line. You quickly glance up at the menu and see the first thing you see. You manage to stutter out. May I have a mini pumpkin cinnamon latte? Wait a damn minute, I hate those. And would you like that with almond milk? Without thinking, you say, yes please. This drink is gonna be shit now, isn't it? No, if you weren't thinking of how inconvenient it would be for the barista, you would have changed your order. Unfortunately, you're crap at talking to strangers, if that wasn't obvious. And would you like it iced? Yes please, yes to everything. Alright, one weird ass latte coming up. What the fuck, Oliver? Just say you want to change the damn thing. You know what, that doesn't matter. I'm already in too deep. Besides, I'm not really here for the drink. Excuse me, I have a question about one of your employees. Emma Greenwood. What? Is she in trouble for something? What? No, I'm a friend of hers. Do you happen to know where she is? As you feel heat crawling up her skin, Barista resorts with, shouldn't you know where your friend is? Well, she, works there. She's meant to be on the shift. You're that detective kid from the news. Shouldn't you know where she is? They giggle, but as you feel the burning envelop your body from head to toe. They don't. It's fine, man. We don't publicize our schedules. You should be on lunch break right now, but I just clocked in, so don't chastise me if I'm wrong. Oh. Thank you. The barista hands you a shitty drink. Bear in mind that it's your fault that it's shitty, and you hand them money. Got a weird ass latte. You walk out of Moonbill's, dissatisfied with the information, and holding a shitty latte. I guess that I could talk to Emma in an hour, but lunch break should be over by then. For now, I guess I'll go over to Cardinal Park. I really do need the fresh air. This way? The cat's still in the way. Cardinal Park. The focal point of Libretto City. Its crowning jewel. It's called Cardinal Park for the red maple trees that dot every foot of the park. Even in this cold weather, the trees have retained their blood-red leaves, contrasting perfectly with the dull fog that permeates throughout the city. Between school, work, and mother, you don't feel yourself here very often. Don't go on ice. Lady, you're on the ice. Not to mention that it's been far too cold out for you to even want to spend another minute outside. Thankfully, today's a break from the painfully monotonous schedule you usually follow. Dawn is waking up, attending university, working, and listening to mother's worries. Today, it's wake up, attend university, go to Cardinal Park, go to work, and listen to mother's worries. Wait, that's not right. You're not supposed to work today. Yes, it's just a force of habit to think that way. Though, even if mother wouldn't be too pleased with you putting work over family time. As your gaze makes contact with the frozen river, you can see people on the ice doing all sorts of stuff in spite of the warning sign. Including, but not limited to, jumping up and down, shoving a knife on the edge, playing basketball, and doing all sorts of stupid things. Yet, it isn't like telling these people to stop will make them stop. Hell, Someone even vandalized that sign over there. Right now, I'm going to try to not worry too much about it. I'll just get my work done and go straight home. You take a sip from the weird-ass pumpkin cinnamon latte thing you ordered, a complete fuck-up of a drink. Then proceed to wonder why you're so damn socially inept as the frigid liquid moves down your throat. Setting the drink aside, you pull out your papers and begin writing. You're really getting into the flow of it. Surely nothing's going to interrupt your flow. A high-pitched screech reaches you, jolting you up. You stare at the source of the noise. Thank goodness, of course something like this was going to happen. You rush over to stop a preventable death, keeping in mind that you could have told her to get off the ice. Thankfully, before she succumbs to hypothermia, you manage to pull her out. Her shivering body runs into yours, leaving you in quite the awkward position. Thanks for getting me out. It was so gross under there. Gross? There's nothing, but I need to take you to the hospital or something. You're freezing right now. No thanks, it's alright. But, I touched a body down there, and it was so gross. No, really, let me take you to... Wait. A body. Her upbeat nature betrays the message her words bring. Body. Under the ice. No, surely it's just hypothermia speaking, right? People don't think very straight when cold, and this woman already seems a bit weird. Why would you believe her? Right? Besides, she could have mistaken something else for a corpse, right? And how did you make contact with a body? It felt like a person. I could feel their hands, their face, their legs, and their hair. You walk over to the hole and attempt to examine it, all the while keeping a safe distance away. In the meantime... My god, Molly, are you okay? Why the hell were you ice skating? Mel, I'm okay. And about the second question, you're supposed to skate on frozen rivers, that's why they freeze over. What in this one? The sign literally says, don't go on ice. What sign? What do you mean, what sign? I'm talking about that sign literally behind you, and that lanky dude. You resist the urge to defend your lanky figure, and instead, continue looking into the blue abyss. That doesn't matter, I, helped. Helped to death, take over sooner rather than later. No. You figure that the two girls are sisters, judging by their similar appearance and how they're arguing. In addition, you realize that the only way for you to see if there is, indeed, a body is by going under yourself. The very worst that could happen to me is that I freeze. If I don't act fast, a murderer very well could get away with the crime. Do you dive into the icy abyss? Sure. You begin to slip your trench coat off. I know, how scandalous, a 20-year-old man simply taking off an outer garment. And the two women immediately stop arguing. They broke up, and you feel their eyes scanning your body. Clearly, this is quite the sordid sight for them. Even the more reasonable of the two is left speechless by your very not nude upper body. You're not even shirtless, and yet they're taking interest. Oh, right, Melly, did you bribe this guy to strip for you? No, I think that he's just so charmed by me. Sometimes, you don't quite understand this attraction others have for you. A couple of years ago, you taking something off would be viewed as scandalous, not really in the appealing way. Then again, you never really did realize that puberty hit you like a truck. You half expect Molly, maybe even Mel, to begin prodding you to take your sweater off. Before you can hear any remarks of that kind, you dive under the water. Shit, what the hell is this pretty boy doing? Why can't anyone just follow the damn sign? But you're on the ice right now, you hypocrite. Yeah, to come and save you, dummy. But Mel, I saw a body. What? Molly, did you down all of the meds during the lab? Of course not. I only downed one. Then what body are you talking about? You emerge from the water, gasping for air and coughing water out, not the most flattering sight. It was so dark under there that you really couldn't see the corpse. You had to feel around for it, so you didn't get quite a good look at them. Them? As in multiple? After coughing some more, though, you open your eyes. You've seen a lot of gore while on this job. Eyes gouged out of their sockets, partially popped like water balloons, beating hearts ripped out of chests, exposed intestines, bones contorted in ways they shouldn't be, disgustingly pink brains staining rotting carpet. But somehow, this... Her breast has been ripped off, exposing all of the tissue to the air. You hate that you're comparing the tissue's appearance to a fucked up flower. Of her face has been burnt off, the skin melting near where her remaining eye is. You can only imagine the pain of having such an intense fire burning so close to your eyes. Your remaining eye reveals a glassy, blank stare, void of vivid color. It tells you everything. You were too late. You were too late to save her.